I hope your guys' day is going well. We're back at it, day 3, another trade recap, and we're on the journey to getting rich as a broke college student. So, at the start of the day, we're looking at NQ on the 15-minute time frame with this huge consolidation period pre-market. So, hold on. And then, so we check over to ES after that, and we see that there's a manipulation right here. So we know that in order for price to go lower, it needs to go higher, so it can manipulate liquidity sweep and then go lower. Because the 4 reasons why price moves is target liquidity, reacts to liquidity, target equilibrium, and reacts to equilibrium. So, knowing that, with this manipulation, we knew it was going to go lower. So, with this SMT right here, that's not very good, but whatever. With this SMT, it was even more of a sign that we were going to go lower. So, I had a bearish bias. Scaling down to the 1 minute and seeing that right as market opened, we were looking to target, we were looking to target these lows, especially in this huge for value gap again. We were looking to target these lows, and then possibly even these lows down here. So with that in mind, we scaled down to the 1 minute, and we are looking for an entry. And for an entry, we need it to line up with the bias, obviously, and then we need to have a reason for it to go lower. So like an inverse for value gap, order block, breaker block, SMT, manipulation, whatever it is. We need that confirmation, and then a displacement move towards where we want to go, obviously. Because for my strategy and for the way I work, we react to the market instead of predicting it. So after seeing that displacement move and the big move, you want to basically hop on the train and ride the train, basically. That's an easy way of putting it. But we didn't get that at this SMT. We didn't get any reason for it to go down before the displacement, so we didn't enter a trade. We stayed disciplined on our rules, but at this point right here, I was like, oh, we're in a fair value gap towards the downside, right, for this wick, and there's an SMT right here. ES is making lower highs and NQ is making higher highs. So I was like, perfect. And it had a displacement to the downside right here. Broke through these lows. So that's where I entered. I was like, all right, I'm going to enter right here, put the highs at the manipulation and lows at this liquidity. Just little above 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. But obviously, as you can see, it basically went to almost full TP and then went straight to stop loss, of course. Not gonna lie, this one kind of messed with my psychology. It was, for a while I was just thinking about it and reminiscing over it, which kind of sucks, but you always have days like that, and I guess I need to keep that in mind. And you also gotta learn from it. So, learning from this, like, what can I learn from it? Because that's what you have to think with every single loss that you take. You have to see what you can learn from it and review it. So, with this going down and pretty big wick right here, I was like, there's got to be a reason for that. So I went to ES, and ES did the same thing, but on the 5 minute, it was this wick right here. It took out the lows that we were looking for, the pre-market lows. It took out, ES took out the lows and NQ didn't. So there was a big SMT again, but this time it was bullish. So I should have realized that, kept an eye on ES, and just closed out of my trade because ES took the lows and NQ didn't. But I guess that's just one thing more to learn from. But one thing that I will say that I could have easily done to avoid taking the entire loss is take partials. I always tell myself to take partials no matter what and de-risk, because let's say for me that I'm on a 100K funded account, so I risk 1% of that, which is $1,000. So I'm risking 1% of a K or 100K per trade. So it's $1,000 a trade. But hold on.
What's that? So we're just talking about over.
Where was I? Oh, one thing that I tell myself and that I go over, or one thing that I tell myself when I'm in these trades is that I gotta take partials, and knowing that it took out these lows over here, I should have had a point to set partials, and then when you do take partials, set your stop loss to break even. So then you take all the risk off the table. But I didn't do that. So I kept on waiting. I kind of got over it after a little while. But I was looking for another trade, and knowing that ES took these lows right here, I turned bullish because it reacted pretty well to the liquidity sweep and 15-minute manipulation. So I was like, okay, I think we're gonna hit these highs up here and we're gonna target this liquidity. So then I switched my bias to bullish after that, and then I was looking for longs, obviously. So then I took a trade that I took yesterday, pretty much the exact same scenario. It was little consolidation with a little manipulation and a breakthrough higher. I was aiming for these highs right up here. 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio. So I was like, hey, not bad. Right away it went down, almost stopped me out, and then it was kind of trickling higher, and after like sitting in the trade for about a half hour to 45 minutes, I was like, yeah, I don't like this, I gotta get out. So I got out at this candle right here in about $300 profit, and never got to my partial, to my take profit for partials. This is where I had it, and I was gonna move it to break even once I hit that, but it didn't. So I just moved my stop loss to these lows right here, to de-risk a little bit. But I just decided to close out of it because it was not moving whatsoever and it wasn't a very good trade. So gotta learn from that too. It's gotta stay away from those ones. This entry was kind of forced, which I don't necessarily like, and I try to stay away from, but at least I didn't lose money today. That's a positive. Well, on this trade, I did lose money total. I lost about $700 today, so 0.7% of the 100K funded, so not crazy terrible, but I'm just trying to keep my losses small. That's the main priority here. But yes, when you are in a trade, any single trade, take partials and have a plan to take partials and move your stop loss to break even. And if the trade goes up and then comes back down to your stop loss at break even and then keeps going, that's just what you're gonna have to take some days. I mean, it doesn't happen often, but I would rather have that and de-risk and not have to worry about it whatsoever and just let the trade run and hit break even and not lose any of the money of half of the position. because when you're taking partials, you're taking half of it off, so the other half is still on, but you're break even and you're not losing any money. So I'm not mad about those trades when those do happen, but it's a way of risk management, so you keep your money and you don't lose your money. It's pretty simple, but it does a lot in the end run. It does a lot, because there's a lot, like here, even if this trade, if I just let it run and walked away, I would have lost $1,000 and I would have hit stop loss, but it didn't. That happens a lot, more often than you think. So just make sure to have good risk management and take partials on every trade. And just de-risk, because the goal isn't necessarily to have big wins every day, but it's to have small losses and minimize your losses. That's the goal, and then obviously wins will come. So having that in mind, today we'll do better, and keep ES in mind and not be lazy, I guess, and just only stare at NQ. So yeah, that's what I got for you today.